take down this iconic intro. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You see the virtual tour background, you hear the virtual tour music, and then there is me. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you all here for another edition of Brainley's Virtual Tour Live Prime Time Edition. We are here. We are here. By the way, y'all, I am so excited. I was in a meeting today with some co-CEOs of an app. I cannot wait to tell y'all about it. It is coming very soon. I don't say all my moves, but Lord Jesus, I move in silence, baby. I move in silence, but I promise you, it will be happening on this YouTube channel. When you see what it is, y'all are going to flip. So very, very excited. So let's do what we do, shall we? And go live on tour because we do have a lot to talk about here. Yes, we do. So let me get to it here. All right, here. All right. Yes. All right. So here we go with this. So Michael Jackson biopic set for 2025 release. Hey, Colton James, welcome in, brother. Glad to have you here. Michael Jackson biopic set for 2025 release. Okay. So with that being said here, Michael Jackson will be back on the big screen on April 18th, 2025 with Michael, a biopic directed by the legendary Antoine Fuqua, starring the late King of Pop's nephew, Jafar Jackson, in his first major role. Lionsgate is releasing the movie domestically, while Universal is handling the overseas distribution. The film will begin production on January 22nd, produced by Bohemian Rhapsody's Graham King and scripted by John Logan. The official synopsis for the film reads, Michael will bring audiences a riveting and honest portrayal of the brilliant yet complicated man who became the King of Pop. That King of Pop, rock and soul came from the one only Elizabeth Taylor. The film presents his triumphs and tragedies on an epic cinematic scale, from his human side to his personal struggles to his undeniable creative genius, exemplified by his most iconic performances. As never before, audiences will experience an inside look into one of the most influential trailblazing artists the world has ever known. John Branagh and John McClane, the co-executors of Michael Jackson's estate, will also produce the film, which may influence the way that Michael depicts the multiple allegations of child sexual abuse that were brought against the singer during his career following his passing. Jackson has denied allegations of child sexual abuse, and he was tried and not found guilty of child molestation in 2003. Jackson passed away in 2009 at the age of 50. Always maintained his innocence. Fuqua is coming off of Hellman, his third Equalizer entry, starring Denzel Washington for Sony Pictures. His prior feature, the Will Smith slavery drama Emancipation, was released by Apple in 2022. Michael is sliding into the date previously held by The Exorcist Deceiver, which was removed from Universal's upcoming theatrical schedule, along with news that director Dave Gordon Green had exited the project. The Exorcist sequel was originally slated for April 18, 2025, but it's been put on hold indefinitely as Universal and Blumhouse search for a new director. So, y'all know how we do. We reflect the chat often. So let's go to the Jasmine brand, see what the people are saying. What do we need another Michael movie for? At least it's not Felix Alexander again. Not that Lifetime movie. Y'all need to stop. I look forward to this movie. Hopefully Jafar does a great job. I know he wants to honor his uncle. See, that's a nice comment. His name is Jafar, like the villain in Aladdin, Alice in Wonderland. Be quiet, okay? His brother's name is Your Majesty. Why don't we have his son do the movie? He even sings and talks like MJ. How many biopics does one need? Another Michael movie. I can't do these biopics in theaters. Should be a genius series like they do for Aretha Franklin on the History Channel. Now that version was much better than the Jennifer Hudson film. The Whitney Houston movie wasn't good either. So everybody is going to have something to say on this, of course, per usual. Lord help. Let me see here because there was some comments from Deadline as well. Let me pull up those comments from Deadline because there were some comments as well. We always try to reflect the people and the industry on this channel, try to give a balanced perspective. Right here, how wonderful to see a movie dedicated to the king of pop. Love you always to always love always to you, Michael. Rather, only someone like April Farrell or Paul Schrader could make an interesting biopic about Jackson. This is going to be safe and forgettable. Wow. Would prefer to watch that Bubbles stop motion movie. It's way more interesting to tell Michael Jackson's story. That script is fantastic. Enthusiastically from his human side and personal struggles. So we will see. That's April 18th, 2025. By the way, there's another biopic. Bob Marley, One Love. I just wanted to show some love to that. That I wanted to show some love here to that. That's coming out February 14th, 2024. And the trailer looks absolutely wonderful. It looks good. It looks of quality. So just want to show some love to another biopic film as well. All right. And I'll be watching too. Hey, here's the thing, PNT Ross. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. The people that say they won't watch are the people that always ends up watching. So I don't pay attention to them. Like, if you're going to stand on business, then stand on business. You understand? So, Larsa Pippen and boyfriend Marcus Jordan claim they have sex probably 5 times a night. So, celebrity couple Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan recently dished about their bedroom affairs. The Lovebirds told famed Bravo executive Andy Cohen that they can't keep their hands off of each other, claiming that they are happily having sex several times a night. The pair discussed their intimate love life during a recent episode, Watch What Happens with Andy Cohen. Larsa Pippen, 49, was asked to speak about a previous remark that she made regarding having sex 4 times a night while married to her now ex-guy Pippen, 58. As we previously reported, the socialite seemed disgruntled during the Real Housewives of Miami reunion back in March of last year, while claiming she was more or less forced to engage in marital relations so often. She stated at the time, I was married for 23 years. We had sex 4 times a night. I had sex 4 times a night every night. I never had a night off for 23 years. However, it seems her opinion about nightly sex has now changed now that she's with the love of her life, Marcus Jordan. She told Cohen that what she previously said was facts, but I also have sex probably 5 times a night with the love of my life. Then Cohen went on to inquire if the act is to completion, which Marcus confirmed with a head nod. Added, I'm very competitive, so I like to stay ready, especially with Larsa as my partner. Larsa has been dating Marcus, the 33-year-old son of the ex-former basketball teammate Michael Jordan since 2022. The two were spotted on several occasions, reportedly getting cozy with one another. Though Larsa denied it for some time there was anything romantic going on. However, the reality star confirmed the relationship by going Instagram official with Marcus in January of 2023. Here we go.
You have sex 3 times a night at the reunion last season.
That's facts, but I also have sex probably 5 times a night with the love of my life.
Way more than
That's a lot.
Is that to completion?
I'm very competitive, so I like to say that.
You can complete yourself and keep going.
Especially with Larsa as my partner, absolutely.
Wow. Okay, I got to talk to you during the. Ben saying you have sex.
Let's see what the chat is saying. Cap. That's cap. Shit must be trash when you get a good round and shit be like extra strength NyQuil. Not NyQuil. Not NyQuil. That's ZQuil for sleep. Anyway, no days off. I have so many questions. Childbirths, illnesses. I'm confused. I hate the internet both days. Why do we need this information? Who at the Jasmine brand gave the okay to run this story? Because it's not a real story. It's like, why? Bring back shame and judgment because I'm sick of y'all. SICA is how I pronounce sicker. But this person said, sick of y'all. How do I mute updates about them? I know her kids and parents this doesn't need to be shared. What the F are we supposed to do with this information? She lies like a rug, and those dead cat pillows that she calls lips. Who keeps asking them questions? Did she say that she was? Never mind. Why did this need to be posted? So as y'all see, the comment section, I have a lot to say. So congratulations to Marcus and Larsa. Enjoy many game 7s, but leave us out of your finals, okay? Because we do not care. Okay, just oh Lord, okay. So speaking of sex, so listen, these people put this stuff out. I just talk about, okay? I stick to the facts, okay? Stick to what has been posted, nothing more, nothing less. So it says here, TJ Holmes and Amy Robach open up about their sex life, cuffs over ropes. The couple shared the deets on their iHeartRadio podcast, Amy and TJ. TJ Holmes and Amy Robach like to get sticky after working up a sweat. And all the better if cuffs are involved. Yes, that's a bit TMI, and this is coming to us from Entertainment Tonight, but that was the topic of conversation in the latest episode of their popular podcast. Y'all really cute, ET. It's a popular podcast. Okay, that's that. Keep peace in the valley. That's very nice. You should have just said in their latest episode of their podcast. You didn't have to have popular, but we'll move on. The couple and host of the iHeartRadio podcast, Amy and TJ, shared some of the most intimate details following their reveal of their compatibility test conducted and shared by this week's podcast guest, Michael K., the director of brand marketing at OkCupid. Now, honestly, like if you're the brand director of OkCupid, I mean, really, is this a part of the job description to like release people's information on the kinks that they have and their compatibility on a podcast? Like, I guess any way you can get OkCupid, but Lord help, okay. So a good compatibility score is in the range of 70 to 90%. The couple wound up being an 84% match. So it looks like they're a good match according to a damn test. Whoopee. You know, I know what I'm about to say next is going to be really off, but I wonder if Amy likes pudding pops. Hashtag Jello. Anyway, let's roll on, shall we? So before Kay shared that nugget, he offered what the couple agree and disagree on. They're both extroverts, intense people, morning people who enjoy relaxing at home. They're close with family, enjoy cooking together. Well, there's no cake in the back for TJ to eat, and there's no icing that's that sweet to eat off the cakes, so I don't know what cooking they could be doing. But anyway, there were also some saucy questions like their sex life. You both enjoy sex more than foreplay. You're both super into post-workout sex and shower sex, Kay revealed, and people prefer cuffs over ropes. So there was literally no question off limits in this test, which made it so much more fun. I feel like I've known you guys for years. In short, there's a lot in the bedroom, out the bedroom, where the former GMA3 hosts are aligned. You know us better than my parents do, quipped Robach after Kay's compatibility test revelation. When asked if any of those results shocked them, the couple answered no. The interesting thing is, Robach, we've been friends now for 9 years. It's an interesting thing when you don't have the romantic designs on someone and you're more willing to be telling all and vulnerable. And I let him see my quirks and he let me see him in a way that I don't think you would do if you just start out dating. So actually, maybe we know too much about each other. Holmes then wanted to know what the couple disagreed on. When it came to what they value most in a partner, Kay shared that Robach said communication is key, and Holmes answered trust. What neither of you said was physical attraction and romance. And neither of them said that? Okay. While both of those are important, it really showing that you both were looking for that deep, meaningful relationship with a strong foundation. Strongly being founded in their communication and connection in the bedroom, and hitting it deep from the back, and it being meaningful to both of them. Yeah, that's a strong, deep, meaningful relationship with a really strong foundation. Kay. That's exactly what they mean by all. That's exactly what they do. That you said, Kay. Lord help. So I really didn't want to consider a disagreement. As for discussing politics, is a no for Robach. While Holmes is all about, then there was a topic of jealousy and whether it was a healthy component in a relationship. So I said yes. Robach said. I said hell no. Holmes shot back. They seem like such a loving couple, aren't they, though? So I wouldn't like to act on that jealousy or be petty or small, but feeling that bit of jealousy makes me know that I want to be with him and only him. I want him to be with me and only me. Robach explained, I don't like the feeling. I don't want to act on it, but knowing it's there in a weird way, makes me feel good. Two things. How can you act on jealousy? Holmes asked, to which Robach responded by accusing somebody or saying, don't talk to that person. How dare you do this? I don't think that's correct or healthy at our relationship. Part two, Holmes continued. It goes back to the question when the answer was trust. I don't worry about it. I think about it. I don't worry about it, think about it at all. So it's a trust matter with me. If you're going to do whatever you're going to do, hang on. I just want to make sure I read this right. So it's about trust for me. If you want to go do whatever you want to do, if I see you out that window right there talking all flurry or whatever with somebody, knock yourself out. That's my woman. She's coming home to me. Whatever I see there, whatever I trust that I have to. Really, TJ? Really though? But yet you and Amy were in the mountains, breaking backs in the mountain. And it's a trust issue for you. It's a trust issue with you, but at the same time, hey, Nikki News, welcome in. Glad to have you here. It was a trust issue for you, TJ, but yet you can be trusting to your ex-wife, and you're big on trust. Okay. If you like it, I love it, TJ. All right. Robach said that she doesn't think that she's a jealous person genuinely, but when you do have that bit of twinge, it's like, ooh, it just reminds me how you feel about that person. But when you feel that you have a bit of that twinge, if you have a bit of a twinge to be jealous over somebody, always be uncomfortable of knowing if they are trustworthy or not, that's saying what you should not be in, Amy. And all of this left Holmes wondering. I'm going to take your jealousy out for a spin, he quipped, and see if you're really going to stand by that statement. TJ, did you really say that, bro, on the podcast? Did you say that you're really going to take her jealousy out on the spin? So, like, you didn't say it, but you're basically saying I will go cheat on you just to see if you have a jealous streak or not. Like, what? Okay. All right. I guess. He added, maybe there's a little level of confidence or arrogance, even on my part, where it doesn't register to me. I guess I'm just not jealous in that way. The couple have been open about their relationship on the podcast, from sharing that they're fully amidst in dry January to revealing her nickname, to be open about their divorce. My Lord. So y'all may not know, but Amy, Robach, and TJ Holmes' exes are dating, allegedly. Oh, it's a spousal affair, everybody. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. Okay. So let me make sure. Okay. So I'm going to read this one, and then we're going to get to what they talked about in their dry January. By the way, like, comment, share, subscribe. Glad to have all of you here. So, Amy and TJ. There we go. Amy and TJ. TJ Holmes revealed his nickname for Amy Robach as they talk about their dry January. So TJ Holmes has inspired his girlfriend to set a new health challenge goal this January. The couple of former colleagues have been one of support systems, running marathons and doing marathons to each other, training together, and while in training into each other together, and are now practicing dry January where they will abstain from alcohol for the entire month. In Thursday's episode of their iHeartRadio podcast, Amy and TJ Robach share that this is her first time trying out the popular trend of not drinking in the month of January. Robes, and that's the nickname that TJ has for Amy. He said Robes on GMA 3, so it's nothing new. He's doing this for the first time ever the new year, Holmes said, sharing his nickname for his girlfriend. A lot of people do dry January. You're doing it for the first time. Robach admitted that dry January will be a challenge for her, having never done it before. I mean, you never fell in love with a coworker before. You did that swimmingly, so you should be fine with dry January. Yes, we're all in this together. Hashtag High School Musical. I've never done it, Robach shared. I've always done what I call damp January. I reduced my drinking, but I wasn't willing to completely cut it out. But this month, I've agreed. I'm actually excited about it. I do like a challenge, and it will certainly be one for me. Robach also meant that Holmes was her inspiration for taking on the challenge. You've inspired me. Robach told Holmes, you've done it every year for the past 10 years except last year, which is understandable. Robach and Holmes' personal relationship was leaked out last January as the couple's romance was forced into the spotlight. Rumors of an affair came after each TV personnel was in the process of splitting from their respective spouses. They maintained that they were not with their previous partners when they got together. Why? What was different about last January? Holmes teased. It was a tough January. ABC officially let Holmes and Robach go in January after news broke of their relationship. Robach finalized her divorce from Andrew Shue 2 months later, where Holmes concluded his divorce from Marley Fidbig, or Fibig, in October. It's been since reported that Shue and Fibig have started their own romantic relationship. Robach and Holmes have been open about the difficult experience last January. On the first episode of their podcast, Robach detailed the scary experience that she had doing a welfare check on Holmes. Holmes shared that the situation occurred after he left work and immediately started pounding on vodka. I didn't stop for several hours. I took who knows how many weed edibles, and that's how I ended up in the state I was in, Holmes recalled. That combination was terrifying. You weren't moving. I'll never forget that night. These two are going strong in a commit romance. For more on their romance, watch the clip below. That part right there, right? So do y'all really want to know about dry January with them? Because I have the information. I always do. Here it is, page 6, everybody, page 6. Embarrassed Amy Robach admits that she had 30 drinks a week. 30 drinks a week, while TJ Holmes divulges his own excess drinking habits. Oh, just wait, y'all. Just wait. Amy Robach is appalled over the amount of alcohol she consumed in 2023. The journalist admitted on the latest episode of her, Amy and TJ's podcast, that she had over 30 drinks a week last year, adding, that was embarrassing to me. That's not what I wish it were. Her boyfriend and co-host TJ Holmes tried to console her, saying, but you're not alone, and we just happen to be saying that out loud. Holmes wanted to share a shocking revelation about his own drinking habits, telling listeners that he had 18 drinks a day in 2023. Drinks a day in 2023. In the words of Real Reality Gossip, or RRG, oh, this is getting messy. I love that damn channel so damn much. Like, comment, share, subscribe to Real Reality Gossip. Robach noted that last year was an anomaly for the duo following the fallout from a cheating scandal that led them to get fired from their jobs at GMA3 and Good Morning America. I don't think I've ever gone a full year where I drink every single day. That was 2023 for me, she said. It wasn't that I was getting wasted or drunk or anything like that. It was just keeping a buzz going all day, or at least keeping in a relaxed state of mind in a high and anxious year. Holmes gathered receipts and discovered the couple spent $2,869 on alcohol alone. I'm gonna zoom in on that number right there so y'all can see the number right there. Y'all see the number right there. Y'all see the number right there. Okay. $2,869 on alcohol alone last month. I just report on things, guys. That's really all I do. That's really all I do. We're going to talk about that. I thought the number would be higher, to be honest with you, he quipped. So basically about $3,000. Both Robach 50 and Holmes 46 said they consider themselves heavy drinkers. You don't say. With the former men that her habit of drinking stems from decades ago. Obviously, high school and college, it was more about every now and then binge drinking, which is not obviously admirable in any way, the former ABC reporter said, and that she scaled back the amount of booze that she consumed in her 20s because she was working 90 hours a week and making $20,000 a year. I didn't have money for alcohol, which was a good thing. However, when she became a mom in her 30s, Robach said she really started to get into wine. I'm guessing that's a non-alcoholic drink, TJ. By the way, sir, I know I said if Amy Robach likes pudding pops, hashtag Jello, but why are you wearing a Bill Cosby sweater, sir? You know what? Let's roll on. Okay. So anyway, let's just roll the hell on. And then that is when I became a moderate to heavy drinker, when I was having 7 to 10, sometimes 15 drinks a week. Always binge on celebratory nights, the mother too said. Amid her removal from GMA3, Robach was accused of having bottles of alcohol in her dressing room. A source emphatically denied the ridiculous allegation, Space 6, claiming that it was the network's way of trying to get the upper hand in her exit deal. That's how ridiculous it's got. And Mia, you get sent balls as gifts, or the balls in her room were sealed. Insider told us in January 2023. And that's very true. So let's just say that, we got to a million views, and Hulu or the Harvard Reporter or whatever, if Virtual Tour Live was streaming on that platform or streaming on, Fox or whatever, they would send a bottle of champagne or whiskey, say, hey, congratulations on making it to 1 million views, Braylon. So that is a customary thing in Hollywood. But Lord, they're using any excuse. Other people in the office also have alcohol. It's everywhere, and it's unopened. After leaving ABC, Robach and Holmes openly flaunted their romance, were often seen on dates in New York City, including one where they went bar hopping together in July of 2023. So there's one person typing, when they sober up, then they will part ways. 18 a day for him and 4+ for her. These two are passing out every night sad. Sounds like a happy, healthy relationship, LOL. 30 drinks a week is not healthy. This relationship is doomed to fail. Once they get sober, the attraction will be over. They will like each other in a much more aware state. So being buzzed for the majority of the day means you parented, drove, and were drunk around your minor kids. If I had ex and they just admit to drinking every day for most of the day, I'll be looking to change access for the children. These two weirdos have their lives destroyed, and looks like these two winners have destroyed their lives and continue to do so with 16 likes. So a lot of people are liking that comment. Guilt and regret will do that to a person. They both are living in their own hell that they create. Can she actually say that she's happier with him than she ever was? No, she's not happy. Neither is he. They're both pathetic. And if all they have to talk about on their podcast is how drunk and miserable they are, I cannot imagine it lasting. Train wrecks are not that interesting after you realize how much lives were lost. Well, then they think about all that money they'll have to shell out for years because they did split from their spouses amicably. I'm sure that's cause for 18 plus drinks every day. Have they even found jobs yet other than podcasting? Allegedly, Amy Robach is supposed to be coming to News Nation, which is owned by Nexstar Group. And so it's supposed to be Amy Robach and Co. It's like $1 million deal. Allegedly, that's, you can type that in, Amy Robach News Nation from the Daily Mail. Now it's funny because I tweeted at News Nation on Twitter, like, so when is Amy Robach and TJ Holmes is coming? So yeah, so Amy will be coming back to TV allegedly, but we haven't heard anything else. So there's one person replying, 12 Step and Benson 2. That explains a lot. 2 Luscious getting plastered beyond cringe. This make me feel so much better about my drinking habit. I guess confidence is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. So they need to be hammered to be together. Well, I mean, they're already hammered into each other in more ways than one. So I don't really think them being hammered to them needing to be hammered to be together is anything that helps or hurts them. Sounds either sad or like a couch hookup scenario. Come on, Amy and TJ. There must be other issues in the world to talk about stuff. Me. You were both credible at one time. This is who they are. They're both selfish narcissists. The only thing about their own pain and struggles, nobody feels sorry for them. They're so desperate for sympathy. I do not know if I would have felt comfortable enough to say I'm 100% going cold turkey this month if you had said that we can all do together. Walkie Amy, I think they meant to say walkie talkie. Let's see. I know not to trust the integrity of my own words, so I must rely on someone else to keep me honest. And y'all also chosen a lifelong liar rather, cheat and admitted heavy drinker. Ask my accountability part. So it should be obvious to all that I care very little about actually committing to a mere month of sobriety. But you know me, I mean, with more thirsty for publicity, so I'll say anything to try and resuscitate this dying podcast. Damn. Really, New York Post wasted versus wasted. Come on now. Amy was sizing up the circumference of the drinking glasses. Proofreading no more. Oh my God, that was funny. Y'all must really hate your lives. A true drunk can't remember how many drinks they drunk. This is all for clout and attention. I do agree with that. All these two do is drink and dance and do the dance with no pants. Sloppy. This imbecile does not know the meaning of the word embarrassed. Not true. Drunken sex fiends. Hopefully circumstance will make you actually work for a living. So that is the podcasting is the media equivalent of cleaning fish. Oh my God. Well, y'all gotta start somewhere or to get everywhere. Good damn. So you both admit to drinking more in 2023 due to all your problems. The problems were your own making. How you faced up to them, there might have been a path out. Instead, you told lie after lie in an effort to justify and normalize your cheating. You lost your families, your jobs, and a big part of your fan base. You thrive on adoration by your audience, but the podcast isn't on to cut. You're done. You just look foolish now. Well, I think that was a very strong comment section. Don't you agree? Let's roll on. Like, Amy and TJ, God bless y'all on your journey, but like, just keep us out the group chat. So speaking of keeping us out the group chat, Pete Davidson. Pete damn Davidson. Pete damn Davidson. Let me pull it up. I don't think y'all are ready for this one. I don't think y'all are ready for this one, okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, let me turn it up. There we go. Okay, it's up. Okay. So y'all ready for this? Here we go. This comes to us from Media Takeout. Yes, that's Pete Davidson. Guess what Pete Davidson did? I'll let you read it. You ready? You good? Okay, let's talk. Pete Davidson admits that he was high on ketamine when he attended Aretha Franklin's funeral. Oh, Lord. Pete Davidson says that he was high on ketamine when he attended Aretha Franklin's funeral in 2018 with his then fiance Ariana Grande. He made the claims in his new Netflix comedy special, Turbo Franzanale. Pete said that he would take the drug to treat depression. I'm embarrassed I was out and about like that. That's not cool, he said. I was so high, I thought it'd be a good idea to go to her family and go, hey, I'm just here to pay my RESPECTS, he said. I'm trying not to laugh. I can't do it. Why? Why do that to her family? You know what? Oh, Lord. The comedian added he doesn't think the late singer would have even known who he was. Still, it's the disrespect, bruh. Hey, who are you and what the uck are you doing at my funeral? He joked. It's embarrassing. Pete entered inpatient therapy at a treatment center this summer to address his issues relating to post-traumatic stress disorder and borderline personality disorder. Last summer, Pete will often check himself into rehab to work on these issues. A source close to Davidson told People his family and friends have been supportive during this time. Okay, here we go.
It's embarrassing when you're not on ketamine anymore, though. You're like, ooh. Ugh. I'm embarrassed. I was out and about like that. That's not cool, you know. I was at funerals like that. That's fucked up, right? I was at Aretha Franklin's funeral like that. Yeah, I have to live with that. You know what I mean? She'll never know, but still, it's not the point. You know what I mean? If she was there, she would probably be like, hey, who are you? What the fuck are you doing at my funeral? You know? It's embarrassing. I was so high, I thought it'd be a good idea to go up to her family and go, hey, I'm just here to pay my RESPECTs. Yes.
I just report on what's out here on the internet, okay? Just don't get mad at me. Like, I cannot believe that this actually happened, okay? So, y'all listen. Listen, okay? I'm gonna pull up this Variety article next because I'm just getting myself prepared for the next story after this story. So the story that will be coming up, I'm gonna let y'all know, trigger warning. And for those of you who are wondering what actual social self-hole is, just figure that out. Actual social self. Okay. So, trigger warning to everybody. This is so sad. It is beyond disgusting. And I sincerely do not get why we live in a world where I don't get why we live in a world where this actually is happening. So just I'm trying to find the article here, or I thought I saw it. Anyway, okay. You know what? Before we do that story, I'm just gonna let y'all know what ketamine is, okay? So ketamine is a dissociative aspect that has some hallucinogenic effects. Ketamine distorts the perception of sight and sound and makes the user feel disconnected and not in control. It is referred to as a dissociative anesthetic halogen because it makes patients feel detached from their pain and environment. Ketamine can induce a state of sedation, feeling calm, relaxed, immobile, relief from pain, or amnesia, no memory of events while under the influence of the drug. And is abused for dissociative sensations and hallucinogenic effects. Ketamine has also been used to facilitate sexual assault. I'm just going to leave it right there. The fact that that is even a thing, what the actual hell? Sorry, I thought I said it to myself. I try to send stories to my. Oh, okay. I know where it's from. Okay, now I got it. Hang on. So, street tile, cat tranquilizer, cat Valium, Jet K, Kitty Cat, Purple, Special K, Special a la Coke, Super Acid, Super K, and Vitamin K. Y'all, the fact that that is a drug used for sexual assault, like really, I can't do it. I simply cannot do it. So let me get the article or up. Yeah, well, not the article, but let me find the story here. Okay. Okay. So trigger warning to everybody for what's about to come, okay? I've covered many stories on tour with y'all. But this one right here, I'm going to let y'all have a minute to read it. Okay. Y'all seeing what I'm seeing, right? So I found this story from its own site, okay? Now we'll play the video here in a minute. I just want to go all the way back. Oh, wait. What the? It should allow me to go all the way back. Okay. Anyway, we'll play the video in a minute. Man arrested and charged with sexual assault of toddlers at the Galleria, documents say. A former employee at the Galleria is accused of actually assaulting 2 toddlers and recording video of the attacks. According to court documents state that Arthur Fernandez III, who worked at a kiosk at the mall, will bring the child in the bathroom, allegedly assault them and taking videos. Reports say that upwards of 7 people could be heard making vocal comments and can be seen assaulting the child. Okay. I can't do it. I'm going to try my damnedest not to lose it, because this is the fucking piece of shit that did it. The fucking creep and the fucking person that should be raped in jail till he dies. Okay? Okay. Let's roll on, y'all. Let's roll on with this story. So far, Fernandez is the only person who's been charged. He was arrested in December and remains in federal custody. Our news partners report that the FBI raided Fernandez's home and confiscated electronic devices and clothing that allegedly matched in the videos. Okay.
Galleria, and we want to.
Let me refresh it.
Everybody in my house knows how to ride a bike except me. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike? And you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves. And all I had to do was be there.
Shout out to that dad. That's a good dad.
All right, now to this still developing story and its horrific allegations at the Galleria. And we want to warn you, some of the details are very disturbing. A former employee is accused of sexually assaulting 2 toddlers and recording video of the attacks. Court documents state that Arthur Fernandez III would bring the child into the bathroom, allegedly assault them, and then take videos. Reports also say upwards of 7 people could be heard making vulgar comments and could also be seen assaulting the child. So far, Fernandez is the only person who has been charged.
Yeah. Y'all heard that right. Y'all heard that right. So, here it is from heavy.com. Dark web video shows 7 men. 7 fucking men molesting toddlers at Galleria Mall in Houston, FBI says. Arthur Hector Fernandez III, this fucking piece of shit, is a 29-year-old Houston former employee of a mall jean store who was accused of sexually abusing toddlers and videotaped group assaults that authorities believe took place in public restrooms at the Galleria, a major shopping destination. The complaint accuses Fernandez of sexual exploitation of a child. You can read the full complaint here. Be forewarned, it's extremely graphic and disturbing. It describes videos that show at least 7 different men engaged in group assaults on 2 boys, one wearing a diaper, and both not even 3 years old. The other suspects are not named, but Fernandez is in federal custody, court documents show. Fernandez's Instagram page is still alive, although it's set to private. Chill out, bored, just ask. I shall tell home as Houston, it reads, listing a Cash App. So, Instagram, get this piece of shit off of here. Okay? I'm going to report that account because I'm not standing for that. No, you're not going to just do that to kids and think you're going to get away with shit. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. So the judge called the accusations revolting and ordered Fernandez to be incarcerated before the trial. In detention order, the evidence in this case is overwhelming and revolting. The defendant was actively involved in participating in videos of a sexual nature with minors, the note says. Continuing the judge, I cannot allow the defendant to abuse any other minors, and there are no conditions or combination of conditions that can elevate or alleviate a danger to the community. This is not a close call. The videos which are being circulated on the dark web were brought to the FBI's attention by Australian center that works to counter child exploitation. Around December 6, 2023, the Australian Center to counter child exploitation provided the FBI with child sexual abuse material pertaining to the ongoing exploitation of a private by invitation only form on the dark web, the complaint says. According to the complaint, the Australian group provided the FBI with 4 videos which were posted and uploaded by the same partially identified user. The first video is 26 seconds and shows a minor victim described as a young prepubescent male on a round ill-tilled table. The child was crying and making disgruntled faces, the complaint says. The complaint described graphic child molestation accusations against Arthur Hector Hernandez and the unnamed suspects. The complaint says that suspect believed to be Fernandez is seen in the video engaged in a sex act with a child. Graphic sexual statements were made in the video. The complaint says the complaint alleges in the second video, 56 seconds long, a white tile room is seen. Another man is seen in this video holding the first victim, who is struggling, can be heard crying loudly. He was engaged in a sex act and was a second suspect. A third subject remains seated during the video. The complaint described extremely graphic activity with the child, although the complainant describes multiple male suspects, but only Fernandez is named. Yet another video shows Fernandez and two other men engaged in graphic sexual activity while the male victim was lying on a changing table. The complainant said a 54-second video showed the second prepubescent child wearing jeans and an open diaper with a dinosaur shirt on a changing table, what appears to be a public restroom. The complaint accuses Fernandez and another suspect of engaging in sexual activity and the other attempts to rape the male child. Arthur Hernandez was identified because of his dolphin charm and the details provided by know him. The complaint says that Fernandez was wearing two silver bracelets, one a chain style bracelet which appears to be a dolphin charm, and the other solid beaded bracelet in various videos. On December 7th, the FBI contacted FBI Houston, was able to locate a child who looked visually similar to one of the victims in the videos that appeared to be relayed to a woman on Facebook and Instagram. The complaint says, when confronted, she told the FBI that the victim was a relative who was 2 years and 10 months old, and added that Fernandez, her friend, often wore the described jewelry. It adds, she supplied the FBI Fernandez Instagram account, allegedly Hector. His photo on the Instagram profile was compared to his Texas driver's license photograph. He is seen wearing the silver bracelets in a photo on Instagram. The complaint says the FBI searched a home in Houston that was Fernandez's listed address. His grandmother and uncle were there. It says FBI seized shoes, a picture card, a phone, a tablet, and more. The two women told the FBI they allowed Arthur Hector Fernandez to watch the toddlers because they could find childcare. And this is why people say you need to be careful of who you have your children around. I know. I'm almost done, and then we're going to move on. The first woman works at a kiosk in the Galleria. She met Fernandez because he worked at a store called Carbon Jeans. According to the complaint, she said that one day in the summer of 2023, she brought the second male victim to work with her after she'd been called in on her day off. The complainant says Fernandez offered to push the second male victim around the mall and watched him while she worked. She says sometimes she brought the second male victim to work with her because she could not afford childcare. Her family lives out in Louisiana. She claimed it was the only time Fernandez had access to the second male victim without her being present. In the video with the second male victim, the FBI notes that the video was taken at a public restroom on changing table, and that the Galleria has public restroom with changing tables. The woman told investigators that she found a 3-second video of the second victim walking out of the Galleria wearing the same outfit that appears in one of the videos. The FBI said found Fernandez's Instagram account, adult male who was Fernandez's ex-boyfriend, and a woman identified one of the boys in the videos as a 2-year-old relative. She also identified her friend and former co-worker Fernandez because they often were similar jewelry to the man in the videos, according to the complaint. She used to work at Carbon Jeans at the Galleria with Fernandez. Fernandez used to date her father. There were times she brought the boy to the mall when she couldn't find a babysitter. Fernandez was the first male victim to walk around the mall in 2022. It says, Jessica McBride, thank you for the details on that. So we're going to move on to Usher, okay? But I definitely want to bring this story to y'all because that should be covered on ABC World News. That should be covered on CBS Evening News with Normal Now. That should be covered on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. And hello, I'm with you. I hope they grape him so hard where he doesn't have an asshole to use anymore. And I mean that shit. All right, y'all. Let's move on to Usher. Let's move on to Usher. Usher Super Bowl halftime trailer teases a performance 30 years in the making. Let me get. Yeah, I mean, I'm so done with it. Like, I'm gonna give credit to It's On Site because that's where I found it from. So I'm just gonna give credit to It's On Site. Y'all see the comment section there. Everybody is pissed the fuck off rather. So when does the execution start? That part. Should be 7 caskets on God. Kill them all. And those are grown men saying that. So there are good men out here. So back to this. Usher's Super Bowl halftime show trailer teases a performance 30 years in the making. Usher has unveiled a trailer for this year's Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show, teasing a performance that has been 30 years in the making. The minute-long clip weaves together footage of fans jamming out to the singer's hit tune, Yeah, with everything from a gospel choir to a creaky oven replicating the song's infectious melody. The trailer also features a few famous faces showing their love for the track, including LeBron James, J Balvin, and John Cook. Usher was revealed to be this year's Super Bowl halftime show performer in September. It's an honor of a lifetime to finally check a Super Bowl performance off my bucket list. I can't wait to bring the world a show unlike anything else they've seen from me before. Usher said a statement at the time. Thank you to the fans and everyone who made this opportunity happen. I'll see you real soon. Last year's inaugural Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show featured Rihanna broke viewing records when the pop star unveiled her second pregnancy during the performance. Usher promises to bring his greatest hits to the stage at Allegiant Stadium in Vegas during football's biggest night on February 11th. The Grammy-winning R&B artist is also gearing up to release his ninth studio album, coming home on February 9th, just in time for the game. The Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show is a part of a multi-year partnership between the NFL, Rock Nation, and Apple Music. Super Bowl 54, I think. Roman numerals are not my jam, so let me make sure I get that right for y'all, okay? So Super Bowl trying to see what the Super Bowl would be in terms of the Roman numerals, because they do Roman numerals so much. Super Bowl. Okay, let's just look it up. Because I'm not about to do all this math and stuff. Hang on. I'm not about to do all this math and stuff. Hang on. LVII number. So Super Bowl 58. Okay, so Super Bowl 58. Let me get the thing back up. Now, I cannot play this because I don't want to be copy struck, but I think you can play it and be just fine. So you guys will be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it from my phone. Okay, so let me. Oh no. No. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna play this at the same time. Oh, hang on. So I want y'all to see it and hear it at the same time. Ready and go.
Peace up. Hey, down. Take that and rewind it back. Okay. My favorite Usher song is Yeah.
That fan that grabbed his face. Yes, indeed. "30 years in the making, baby. Super Bowl halftime show, baby. Let's get it." So you guys will be able to catch that February 11th only on CBS. Hey, Story B, welcome in. Woo! What a show, y'all. What a show. But we got even more hot topics for y'all. So y'all saw the story about Chris Cuomo and CNN. So let's talk about it. Now this is an ad loading. Once this ad loads, then I'll play the audio. So Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, who was on MSNBC, had her whole scandal. Then Andrew Gillum, who was supposed to be the governor of Florida, should be the damn governor of Florida, but he was involved in a sexual scandal. They have come up with a new podcast on Charlamagne's network, and they went on the podcast and talked about this. I had no idea. So here we go. Y'all see the title there. This comes to us from page 6. Chris Cuomo called humiliated CNN staffer tinsel crotch, and she claims network axed her after confronting him. A former CNN contributor said Chris Cuomo put her through an embarrassing and humiliating experience and may have costed her a job at the network. Angela Rye, who regularly appeared as a guest on former CNN anchor's Cuomo Primetime, claimed that she was stunned when Cuomo responded to a bikini-clad photo that she posted on New Year's Day 2021 by saying, "Happy New Year, tinsel crotch." Rye said that when she didn't reply to him, Cuomo offered her exciting new career opportunities, seemingly to smooth things over after the New Year's message. But when she confronted Cuomo about his bikini comment, CNN ended her contract. Now she believes Cuomo may have had her fired over the decade. The attorney and commentator made the claims in the premiere episode of her iHeart podcast, Native Land Podcast, where she co-hosts with Tiffany Cross and Andrew Gillum. Holding back tears, Rye read what appeared to be an open letter to Cuomo. So here's the photo. Now listen, Angela Rye is a thickalicious, scrumdiddlyumptious, intelligent sister. She actually came to Kent State, and I actually got to meet her. I got to be I was having lunch with her and other students. I was one of the selected few because she came for MLK Day. So she is as real as they come, and she's beautiful. But you don't comment "Happy New Year, tinsel crotch" on your co-worker's Instagram. Maybe you could say, "Let me tell you something. Is the sun capturing you, or are you capturing the sun?" Something cute, simple, and mute. You know what I mean? It began on New Year's Day in 2021 when I posted a picture of myself looking forward to the new year in a golden sequin bikini on Instagram. She read. Cuomo screenshot the message and said, "Happy New Year, tinsel crotch." Stunned, I read and reread the message a dozen times, trying to understand if I somehow brought this on myself. I teared up. Like, now that the tears flowed, I felt the safest place I had on a show on CNN had been compromised, a sobering Rye told her co-host. Rye, who also appeared on MSNBC and 105 Once a Breakfast Club at ESPN, said that a week or so later, Cuomo, who she described as the darling of the network, was texting me about a set idea that he had for his primetime show. She said that following his New Year's text, Chris Cuomo was suddenly excited about a new prominent role where I would check the left. Angela says she had her doubts about the genuine nature of this idea because Cuomo came up with this particular semi-idea after the text exchange that went woefully wrong. She said she did respond to his offer about the 7 right away, but got back to him about a week later, asking if he still wanted to discuss his work idea, despite him mentioning tinsel bikini and tinsel bottom along the way. Then she said on January 21st, 2021, the network called to tell her that it wasn't renewing her contract. Rye claimed CNN told her that they would be focusing on more COVID coverage and less on politics. I knew it was a lie. It was confirmed when 2 Black women were hired for half my contributor rate right after the network fired Cuomo in December 2021 for advising his then brother, then governor, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo on his sexual misconduct scandal. Andrew Cuomo has consistently denied the wrongdoing, and Chris is suing the network for being fired. Rye claimed that Chris, now at Anchor News Nation, texted her from a new number last year and asked if she was mad at him, holding back tears. Rye responded on the podcast Friday saying, but I was really mad at myself. I was mad at myself for not saying anything sooner because I was like encouraged, preferring my financial well-being over my mental health, and I stand up for women who were often left powerless. I will say this, Angela. That was a personal situation, and whatever you needed to do for you was for you. I understand not stand up for women because women, y'all already get judged this, that, and the third. But you had every right to say whatever you want to say to Chris Cuomo. I was mad at myself for protecting your image with the Black women who I know who loved you and looked forward to hearing your voice, she said on the podcast. I was mad at myself for shrinking in the face of power when people depended on me to stand up and to speak up. Rye said the situation was hard for me because we were legitimately cool. We had a great rapport. I was worried about damaging a friendship or working relationship that you had actually damaged. So this is the Native podcast. I didn't know who all these people were until I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha. Cross Rye's co-host and friend asked her if she believes the incident cost her a job at CNN. Rye described Cuomo's brutally cold to her when the network did not renew her contract. I don't know if he had me fired or not, but that's certainly why I believe now, she said. This isn't the first time a colleague accused Cuomo of being inappropriate. Coincidentally, months after Rye's incident, text his former ABC News boss, Sally Ross, penned an op-ed in the New York Times, claiming that he sexually harassed her at a going away party for ABC News colleague in 2005. When Mr. Cuomo ended up on the west side, when Mr. Cuomo entered the Upper West Side bar, he walked towards me, greeted me with a strong bear hug while lowering one hand to grab and squeeze the cheek of my buttock, Ross wrote. Cuomo responded via CNN statement, as Shelley acknowledges our interaction was not sexual in nature. It happened 16 years ago in a public setting. When she was a top executive at ABC, I apologized to her then and meant it a rep for CNN. Cuomo and Rye did not get back to us by deadline. So we're going to now play the clip. Angela Rye. Here we go.
It all began on New Year's Day when I posted a picture of myself looking forward to the new year in a gold sequin bikini on Instagram. Cuomo screenshot the image and said, "Happy New Year, tinsel crotch." Stunned, I read and reread the message a dozen times, trying to understand. If I somehow brought this on myself, since whatever you post on social is fair game, right? I teared up, like now, then the tears flowed. I felt like the safest place I had on a show on CNN had been compromised.
Man. My Lord.
Chris Cuomo was suddenly excited about a prominent regular role for me where I would check the left. Truthfully, I had my doubts on the genuine nature of this idea. Our on-air conversations and chemistry became something viewers look forward to. But Cuomo came up with this particular segment idea after a text exchange that went woefully wrong.
Well, first of all, that was fucked up that he did that. Right here. I'm sorry as women that we have to have some personal responsibility. It's a beautiful picture but from that angle, that's exactly where my eyes went, and it does look like tinsel. I don't think the word he used is offensive. I think we have to stop being offended by everything. of all the things he's done, that's the least offensive, and you're not a victim because someone else used a creative adjective. The pick is why she fired, violates the indecency clause of her contract. Any woman dressed like that is bound to get ribbed. The vast majority of women would never send out a picture. Fredo is not a hero of mine, but the photo she posted did resemble tinsel hanging down. Therefore, I deem his response. She's working on it next to law. So, not a fan of Chris Cuomo by any means, but the name he used seemed appropriate in this case. A couple of thoughts. First, you don't post bikini pictures on Instagram unless you're seeking attention, likes, and comments. If your profile is public, you have to know your colleagues, potential employers, everyone else in the world can see it. Mad, the image you put out can't come back to bite. So y'all see the comments, right? And I'm seeing that it was a perfectly harmless joke, right? Honestly, to tell you the truth, it should not really matter. You know what I mean? If that's how she felt, that's how she felt. We also, as men, have to understand that not everything can be said to women. He didn't call her, Chris Cuomo didn't call her a 304, see you next Tuesday, a trick. He didn't say any of those names. He just said, Happy New Year, tinsel bikini. And Angela feels the way that she feels, right? I don't know. Just Lord. So those are the comments there. Like I said, I feel like right is right, wrong is wrong. That is how she feels. I know Chris Cuomo will probably say something about this on News Nation, or he may not say anything. Okay, see, this is like more like thunder thighs. First of all, there's nothing wrong with thick thighs. Okay, thick thighs make dick rise. Okay, we're not going to make fun of this picture right here. Okay, because listen, I would not mind Angela Rye all over me. Rye bread rising to the top. But anyway, let me stop. But no, seriously, that's what I honestly believe. But yeah, so you see the comments, most of them are saying like if you post that, then that's what you're gonna get. But everything's in the eye of the beholder. So anyway, let's see. I'm gonna drop the link if you guys want to come up. Because y'all, there's a lot going on in the world. There is. So there is the link there. There we go. Pin the message. The link is pinned. Another story that I saw, which was interesting. Let's see. All right, so this is what Kevin Hart is saying here. Okay, so Kevin Hart explains why he's done hosting award shows. Those aren't comedy-friendly environments anymore.
Many of your fans were gutted when you did not host the Oscars.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance we'll see you do it one day?
No, absolutely not. Let's just throw that hope right out the window right now. You just whatever level of hope you have, I want to destroy it right now. No, not at all. Those gigs aren't good gigs for comics, and it's no shot to the Oscars, no shot to the Globes or anything else. Those just aren't comedy-friendly environments anymore. So I think they got it right one year where it was like just a bunch of personalities acted as the host. And that's a nice thing. It's a collaborative thing. Different people get to be responsible for Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. But, the days of it being a room for a comic, those days are done. Shouts out to those that have cracked the code and done it right early on, the Chris Rocks of the world, the Billy Crystals of the world. The Globes have had like Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Ricky Gervais. I mean, there's a lot of people that understand it. But if you're not an industry comic, meaning a comic that has the relationships of all, then those rooms are very cold. So me doing it is, of course, at an advantage because I know the room and familiar with so many. But For others, it's not the same.
Awesome.
Look at that broken down.
Do you know what? I'm personally gutted.
Yes,
it's going to make the Oscars a lot less
but you
fun
get
for
it
me.
now.
But
It's like, oh, he actually makes sense. It's like it's not the gig that it was of old. It's too much pressure on the idea of a comic and what's jokes and not jokes. So it's tough.
So, with that being said, to give you a little context here, at this point, in his career, the stand-up comedian has hosted his fair share of award shows that has done arguably well to date. Hart has been tapped as the MC for the BET Awards, the MTV Video Music Awards, as well as the MTV Movie Awards. His opportunity to host a larger scale performance came in 2019 when he was named as the host for the Oscars. However, Hart ultimately never took to the stage after internet users called for his firing due to old problematic statements he made. If you recall, prior tweets, the comedian uploaded that seemingly homophobic resurfaced angry many online. If you can't do comedy without insulting people with illness, without racism, without homophobia or misogyny, then you aren't a good comic. In other words, I can't disrespect people in the way I want to anymore. Of course, Will Smith, Lord help. I agree with him. Folks can be really in feelings. They can't joke anymore. Comedy is what brings lightheartedness to these award shows because that mess is 3 hours long. Without comedy, forget ratings will continue to fall because no one wants to hear a eulogy. I agree. Political correctness is trying to ruin stand-up. He has a point. I don't care what comedian you put up there. They're going to bomb because everyone's so sensitive and can't take a joke. Yes, including your favorite comedian. Keywords, industry comics. He meant those award rooms are too snobby. Well said. I mean, listen. Kevin Hart has a semi-decent point. That you don't want to be in a room with people and you're afraid of what you're going to do. So or what people can tolerate. So I want to bring up a brother of mine. This brother right here, he was on The Bachelor, Garwin Flowers. Garen Flowers, and we talked on Clubhouse, and he was on The Bachelor with Claire season. He works for Yahoo Entertainment. Wrote up a little something about the Cool Joy hosting job. Sunday is hosting an award show. A thankless job. It seems like it's so easy for the role to be controversial or fall flat. These award shows go back to actually hiring hosts. Weigh in. I said Garwin Flowers. I think they absolutely hire real hosts. I think that depending, they think absolutely hire real hosts. I didn't realize this was a run on sets, but anyway, I think they should hire a real host, depending on the award show, do open casting call, because listen, there are people out here who can do really good content. I'm available to host, been available, always stay ready to go. And then Garwin said, absolutely, there are plenty of professional hosts that can be way fame, not try to perform a stand-up monologue, hire those people. Yeah, it's a tough gig. You're expected to be funny, but the stars are there to be acknowledged for their work, and they don't want to be roasted. Hosting live events is a very specific skill set. All people do not translate. Live comedian or not. Yeah. So, listen. It's a lot of pressure to host a live show. I understand why they do get comics to host things, because you're in a room for 3 hours. There's some people you want to see. There's some people you don't want to see. And you have to balance out the room. Somebody may not get an award. And so how do you find the soul for them to be happy that night? But hosting is a real skill set, y'all. You can't just wake up and do it one day. So yeah, let me see what else. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, hang on. I think, this thing right here. I want to show y'all this because I have many thoughts on this. Okay, I have many thoughts on this. So this comes to us from Variety. The CW unveils a new branding look, dropping embracing a hot sauce color palette. And this is them here. The CW is spicing up its look. Time to Sunday's era of the Critics' Choice Awards. The Next Star network is unveiling an evolution of its logo and brand identity that includes the new red-orange color palette that the network calls CW Hot Sauce. The CW is in the middle of a brand transformation, and a new network deserves a new look and feel. CW Chief Marketing Officer Chris Spondiglini said, "When I got here, not only did I arrive to find a logo that was slightly dated, but there was zero consistency on how we present our brand. Everything just looked very different, even though I really loved the program and the market. Even the market creative was great. There was not really a very well defined brand behind it. That was the impetus for the project when the CW president Brad Schwartz hired me. Sorry, y'all. To the untrained eye, the new CW looks like the old one, but it's been indeed given a tweak. Notably, the in the CW logo has been removed, so now it just says CW. To be clear, the CW will still refer to itself as the CW, but the will be implied instead of it being in the logo. We came to the conclusion that the logo may need a makeover, and the is not readable. Where it's currently placed in the logo, it does not reduce down well to digital formats. It's not readable in streaming. It's not readable in social media. It's not readable on anything on a mobile screen, which is where we're largely engaging with our customers or consumers. So that creates problems. The doesn't work for some of the networks' new franchises. So we are not the CW Sports. We are CW Sports. We're not presenting the CW original. We're presenting a CW original. We're still very much a CW. That's how people refer to us. That's how even the press refers to us. But if I tried to drop the, it would be impossible in the culture. We're always known as the CW. It's not the NBC. It's not the ABC. So it kind of differentiates us. Spudlini notes that removing the logo tweaks are radical. He said the network could consider a full logo change, but then might have to change the name, what the CW did not want to do. The logo layering has been made a touch bolder and perhaps apparent. The decision to shift from CW's longtime green to that hot sauce color will absolutely be noticeable. Color selection was challenging because of how cluttered the landscape is. Spatolini said, "We did a whole map of all the logos in space, and blue is just so cluttered between Disney, Max, Amazon, and Fox. We need to stay away from there. So we landed on reddish orange, kind of hot orange that we're branding hot sauce. We think we're cool because it's warm, it's energetic, it's accessible, it stands out. The color is supplemented by a pink that he calls icing and a light green that he dubs mint." Charming. Spaldi said that he may be most proud of a new network symbol that will be incorporated into on-air spots called the stage. The CW logo will expand and contract into a stage where information will be shared with viewers. So basically, the C and the W will expand, and there'll be a stage in the middle, which that's kind of different, I guess. We want to try to find something that we could own our own version of Paramount's Mountain, and this was actually born out of our DNA. It comes directly out of our logo. It forms a holding device for anything that we're choosing to curate for our viewers. It can hold copy, it can expand and reveal information, and be a pedestal or platform where we can showcase our stars or our show tiles. It's also cool to move and swipe to transition from screen to screen. Is also a very cool, flexible symbol, which means right now absolutely nothing. But over time, the more that people see it and engage with it, they will associate back to our brand. I think that could be our thing. The marketing chief is also excited about another subtle element that he hopes to build into something big, a sonic branding system that centers on the audio from actual striking of a match that the team recorded. It's it kind of plays off the hot sauce a bit. It's the igniters, what sparks your emotion, gets people curious about what CW is about to reveal on our stage. We think that's really cool. There's a lot of work to be done. What you won't see just yet, if ever, is a new network slogan. The CW's previous mantra, "Dare to Defy, has been retired, won't be replaced." I'm not a huge fan of taglines, although I won't rule it out. Spalini, who worked who in his previous 2 decades at HBO took part in one of the most legendary on-screen slogans. It's not TV, it's HBO. Given how competitive our space is, I think it's hard to come up with a short, pitty line that's actually going to have real meaning. I'm about to buy shows that support that line or personality that supports that line. It's not something that it's not something we're thinking about right now. My hope is by fall we're out with a brand campaign. Spalding, he said the brand revives will go into effect on the Sunday along with social media handles. The network is also working with affiliates. And so that changeover will take a bit longer. And the brand refresh is also a work in progress on the CW streaming platform. Some of the CW's major market stations had de-emphasized the network back when there was tension between then owners Warner Brothers and CBS and then station group Tribune. That is still evolving now that everyone's under Nexstar. If you're scrolling for your guide in New York and LA, you do not see any reference to the CW. That makes our job challenging when we're trying to drive eyeballs toward the CW. It's not something that a consumer in those markets can easily find, but it's going to be something that's going to evolve over time. Viewers on Sunday will see the new 60-second spot that highlights the new look while promoting shows like Sophia Turner's Joanne, the new seasons of All American and Walker, the final season of Superman and Lois, some unscripted content. UK-based agency Dixon Botsy assisted with the brand refresh along with new CW brand creative senior VP Richard Browd. Whatever identity that we create visually need to appeal to America as well as coastal audiences. Spontini said had to reflect the new direction of the network. It had to be flexible enough to support a big push into live sports as well as a variety of programs. So here is a sneak peek of the brand sizzle for the CW. Check it out. Oh, hang on.
Listen up.
Okay.
Exciting. Bigger. Better? Good stuff.
Ooh. Absolutely.
You look like you have to sneeze.
Oh.
Sorry, Mom.
Lord help.
Let's get him. That is absolutely amazing.
Let me finish.
Free.
We got you.
We got you.
We got you.
So that is the CW brand sizzle. I'm about to go onto YouTube to see if there is any comments here. Okay, so there is comments. So let's switch to this tab instead. 7 comments. If TNT and TBS were a broadcast channel, more like USA Network and Sci-Fi, at least TBS and TNT didn't air Canadian produced shows unlike Sci-Fi. Huge slap in the face includes Spider-Man and Lois after you canceled it. I just need more than the final 10 episodes. The new CW, it's bigger, it's better, it's bolder, it's Canadian. We got WWE Nexus on CW. Logo looks like CNN. No thanks. So what that tells me is y'all have a lot of work to do. Now, y'all see, now hang on, you barely saw it, but you see that match right there. It came out to the CW. I do like that it does ignite excitement, right? Now, this is my take on it, right? I think the Dare to Defy slogan could still be used because, for example, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was an amazing show that dared to defy what a relationship is, breaking down what an ex is, daring to defy who can be a mother with Jane the Virgin. So, not to mention too, you could have Dare to Defy merchandise, and not to mention the Dare to Defy Entertainment Awards, where this CW here. Where's the damn video? Where the CW here could be in gold, and you just give that. You know what I mean? So, CW got a lot of work to do. I have other thoughts about the CW, but I'm not going to give that away because I would like to work with the CW. Actually, I think the CW could be a really great network. But Nexstar has to recognize that this is not what they do. They're known more for news. They're not known for driving content like this. So that's my take on it. So I'm gonna turn off my camera because I did the whole show for an hour. Oh my Lord Jesus, my Lord, my Lord, my Lord. So glad to have all of you here. And yes, I did see Peter Thomas was arrested. There's so much going on. I try to get anything and everything in here as much as I can. As much as I can. So let me go back to the Jasper, because there was another story that I saw that I want to speak to y'all on. You know what I mean? And this one, this one sad. This one is very, very sad. So trigger warning to everybody here. The Jefferson City, Missouri community demands Lincoln University president Dr. John Mosley's immediate removal following the tragic suicide of Dr. Bonnie Bailey. Sources cited bullying and mistreatment from him that ultimately led Bailey to take her own life. Despite Dr. Bailey's pleas and letter detailing her experience, the administration ignored her, prompting calls from Mosley's resignation. While Lincoln University acknowledged Dr. Bailey's contribution, Mosley continues his role amid controversy. This is extremely disturbing. Wait. A white man who's the president of an HBCU, read that again, bullied a black faculty member to the point where she took her own life. Why not just leave and file a lawsuit? Women of color in high positions are overqualified, educated, are the thorn in the sides of over-entitled counterparts. They make no bones about expressing their disdain for them. I sent them an email immediately requesting his dismissal. I was so disturbed by seeing this last night on TikTok. Proud HBCU grad here. I stand with the students and alumni who want this man gone. Her life will not be in vain. The fact that he did that, he just is a piece of shit. You should never have to do that. And honestly, like, why is a white man in charge of an HBCU? It's a historically black college. It should be black or a black board of directors. The hell wrong with y'all? Get yourself together, Lincoln University. Stop that shit. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I simply cannot do it. So the Peter Thomas thing. So, Peter Thomas, the former husband of Cynthia Bailey, found himself in legal trouble and was arrested in Cobb County, Georgia, for driving under the influence. The reality star was reportedly weaving between lanes and sped through a red light. The incident occurred on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's daylight time. What the hell? Thomas had his mugshot taken as part of the process. He managed to secure a release on the same day by posting bail, which amounted to nearly $3,000. According to the details of his booking record, Thomas faced additional citations for driving without a valid license, lacking proof of insurance, failing to maintain his lane, and possessing an expired or missing license tag, and violating a traffic control device. Good damn, Peter. Lord. Following judge's ruling, Peter Thomas, who is 63 years old, has been legally mandated to abstain from consuming alcohol, marijuana. You should ask Tiffany Hash for some advice because she has to do the same thing. Additionally, he is required to undergo random drug testing and alcohol testing, just like Tiffany. Y'all really should talk. With the associated cost to be covered by him. Furthermore, Thomas is not permitted to possess any firearms. It was not necessary to even mention Cynthia's name in this mess. Right. That is very true. Cynthia did not have to be brought up, but it's association. We know who Peter is. No need to mention his ex-wife. She's been married and divorced from a whole nother man. Leave Cynthia out. That's why Cynthia named here. Do better. You didn't have to mention the ex-wife's name, so not so good. His eyes look very yellow. Wonder if he has kidney issues. You never give up on family. What? Why is there a Smurf in the chat? Why is Cynthia attached to this post? Uncle Ben back at it again. Cynthia divorces broke ass and remarried and divorced again. So what's the connection? He's always in some ish. Free Peter. So yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are Friday night, everybody. Lord help. Lord help. So, by the way, y'all, thank y'all so much for viewing this morning's show. I really, really do mean that. This morning's show was so inspirational. This morning we covered, let me see. This morning we covered Michael Strahan, Funky Dineva, Charmaine the God, Donnie Simpson, November Nichols, and also Amazon. That was such an inspirational story. And shout out to Isabella Strahan for that. So yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That was a great, great show. It really, really was. I want to show y'all something now. Hopefully everything will be all right with this. Now, let me tell you something. This song right here is so amazing. And I just feel like since it's Friday night, we need a little pick me up. You know what I mean? And so I hope you guys enjoy this. It is a whole vibe, and yeah. Y'all ready for some fun? Let's do it. Here we go, y'all. Enjoy.
Let's go. When it awake, it's time to hit the light. Drink up your weekend with the Thursday night. Just make you lose control. Bring it on, week 9. It's a divisional feast. Eagles and Giants with some smash mouth in the East. And then Sunday night, Raiders must pass the test. Can they put down the champs and rise up in the West? But the weekend starts now with an NFC fight. It's the Falcons and the Bucs on Thursday night. So let's go. Time to get it started tonight. The NFL will get you crazy and wild. You know it's going down. This is how we do it now. Alex will show you how to go. Come on, put your hands in the sky. Win or lose, you better put up a fight. It's going down. You know what I'm talking about. Ready to be loud enough. You know what I'm talking about. TNF is going down.
Listen. It's not Thursday night football, damn it, but damn it, it's Friday night. Let me tell you something. Why can I feel Pentatonic saying, living louder now, Braylon's virtual tour going down now. Lyrics got to be worked out, but I just love that beat and the, like, man, I love my quirkiness. I really do. Welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you all here on a Friday night. It is 39 minutes after 7 o'clock on the dot. Glad to have all of you here in the building. My Lord, a lot going on in the world today. As always, y'all, it's the second week of the year, y'all, already. Can y'all believe how much has happened in the last 2 weeks of this year? At the beginning of the year, this is a little much, ain't it? Man, I can't. Oh Lord, let me see if there's anything new. Anything new on this idiot? No, not really. Nothing really new. Hang on, y'all give me a moment. I'm still right here. I'm going to play this video, see if there's anything new from this. Hang on. Still right here, y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Glad to have all you here. Nothing new from that. I thought I saw some, but nothing new from that. But yes, indeed, glad to have all of you here in the building with me. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. So glad to have all of you in the building. Like I said, I cannot wait to tell y'all about this new partnership that I do have with a very, very I'm just excited. I really am. Virtual tour live, started out um as just a concept, an idea, a thought, and now we have our own show called Virtual Tour Live that goes anywhere and everywhere around the country, and well, really not just around the country but around the world. Good Lord. And so, yeah, I do try my very best to bring you guys topics that are real, that are sincere. Just to let y'all know, that Galleria Mall story that just pissed me all the way off. I couldn't hold it in anymore with that story. Soon as I saw, I'm like, okay, we have to talk about this. And I think Virtual Tour Live is really created for real conversation around real things. And sometimes those conversations are not the easiest to have. We went from Michael Jackson all the way to Usher, right? So, did that and talked about the CW. And like I said, we go anywhere and everywhere. And that's what I like about we don't box ourselves in to just fitting into anyone's prism of what content should be. Content is free form, it's unlimited, it is as flexible as you want it to be. You know what I mean? So let's see here. So, for those of you who may not know, there was a rumor about Zendaya allegedly breaking up with Tom Holland. She unfollowed some people on Instagram, which sometimes you need to do for mental health reasons. Tom Holland denies Zendaya breakup rumors as she is out with brother. Tom Holland is speaking up about all the speculation that he and Zendaya are donezo. And said that simply is not true, issuing outright denial to the notion that they split. The Spider-Man star was out and about Friday in LA walking through an alley with a pal as they made to Tom's parked car, waiting to chat to him about the breakup buzz. And guess what? He is still following Zendaya, and Zendaya is still following him. Dude tried to congrats Tom Holland on a new Back to the Future gig, which isn't real. Lord help! If you're going to kiss somebody's behind, like at least say something that's actual factual. By the way, birthday party stars are free. Birthday star parties are free at Chuck E. Cheese. There, if you guys are looking for that for your kids. But then finally asked the obvious question: are y'all broken up or not? Tom says no, absolutely not. He doesn't elaborate any further, but that's about as clear as he could be on this issue. Of course, this comes on the heels of what a lot of people took red flags took as red flags in the last couple of weeks, including Zendaya unfollowing everyone, Tom as well, not mentioning the fact that Tom and Zendaya haven't been photographed together in public in literally months. Zendaya herself was also out about Friday. We got a video of her cruising around Culver City with her brother Austin. It's unclear if they ended up buying anything, but as you can see, they were pretty chipper on their way back to the car, with Zen once again in the driver's seat. Range Rover, all right. Zendaya and Austin were photographed Wednesday as well, driving around town and doing their own thing solo. But it's allowed when you're dating. But for what it's worth, she was driving with her brother. Tom was mobbing around WeHo, West Hollywood that night. Fast forward a few days, they're still not together, but now Tom is saying that they continue to be a couple. Frankly, there's no smoking gun on them splitting up anyway. In fact, we've been told by people with direct knowledge that the duo spent New Year's Eve together. The fact they necessarily haven't been hanging out in public these past weeks doesn't mean that they're necessarily not. Yeah, exactly. It just means they got individual lives, plus Zendaya and Tom are notoriously private, as is, so it might be par for the course. So I'm rooting for them. Let's see here. Okay, interesting. F Twix or Calvin Klein and that band in the UK. FK Twix suggested that the UK banned her Calvin Klein as a standard and added in just that race was a factor, but the organization nixed it, calling but that or the organization that nixed it is calling BS. UK Advertising Standards Authority, which has the authority over this sort of thing, tells TMZ that their final assessment of whether ad stays or goes is based solely on their responsibility and offensive rules, and FKA's ad broke them on justification and inappropriate targeting. Well, I mean, FKA Twix can't help that she's got curves. I mean, you see it right there. Like, that's her natural body. What is she supposed to do? You know what I mean? So the photo in question is Twig showing some side boob, butt, and thigh, but covering the rest of her monster with a denim shirt. Not the raciest shot in the world. But it's been pointed out the Kendall Jenner similarly racy CK ad got a free pass around the pond. So, but she's wearing jeans though, right? I mean, come on. The ASA tell us that they took a hard look at the two similar but crucially subtle different ads, but Twig's ad they took issue with because she was far more revealing. The Kendall was. Look at the pictures and you'll see Twigs is showing some side boob and par for buttocks, whereas Kendall is wearing jeans fully covering her chest with her hands. But then again, like, if that's what the photographer asked and she just did her job, then you should get on to the photographer. Unless you're behind on the rock, Jeremy Allen White's recent steamy CK ads has been doing the rounds everywhere lately, including the UK, a decision that fueled widespread discussion on double standards, as FKA puts it, but ASA isn't backing down. Tell us that they understand there's a fine line between judging what is and isn't like the cost of offense, but it's their job to make the call. They ended by spelling out a layman's term, FKA's ad has been banned under the rules of advertising, not in context, whether it's race, sex, or anything else. Well, listen. At the beginning, middle, end of the day, it is what it is. Saw this story too. LA police chase dog thrown from car staying with vets, animal cruelty charges added. So this is a graphic video, so just warning you guys now. Literally threw out the dog. Don't know if y'all saw it, but there's the dog right there. It was during a police pursuit. Like, first of all, why throw the dog out? Like, that's completely disrespectful. And you need your actual social self-beat for that.
Through the residential area. So hopefully we don't see any pedestrians out on the roadway. Okay, now back out on Mission Boulevard, southbound now. Let's see if he makes his way back towards the freeway where he exited just a short while ago. Again, he did have an animal that was in the pickup truck that did either fall or was thrown from the truck.
Again, as Glenn mentioned, wanted for vandalism, possibly graffiti.
Oh my God!
And he just had a head-on collision.
He just literally
with
this red car on the overpass of the, I believe that's the, let's see here, against traffic and slamming into that red car. Hopefully the driver.
Yeah, hopefully the driver's okay.
Okay, looks like the officers are checking up. Looks like we're seeing somebody move there. An airbag was deployed, so hopefully that driver will be okay.
See?
The driver is concerned. He's not even communicating back. It looks we haven't seen him move for several minutes now, so we're not. Okay. So they fired what appears to be a non-lethal round into the windshield so that they could break the wind. We'll push in here just for a moment. Here, officer's going to make an approach.
Is it a black guy?
Out from the cab of the truck here.
Oh, it's game over.
Okay. They're going to hold the canine back as officers have now made it to the driver's side door, and they'll try and pull him out.
All right. Lord help. It's not being the dog is not being returned by the owner. Instead, will be staying at a local humane society. Daniel Penn, the animal control supervisor at the Inland Valley Humane Society at SPCA tells TMZ the pooch will remain in its care for now while investigation onto Thursday incident plays out. As we reported, the dog was tossed out of the window as some scumbag struck Thursday as the driver was leading police on a high-speed chase. Suspect is a 47-year-old man named Robert Luna. The chase started with a reported vandalism. So let's see what this ninja looks like. I think that this is him. Hang on, let me see. Maybe TMZ will show us here. Okay, so here it is here. So this dog, from that pursuit, which ended up at Panoma, the dog is being cared for by amazing investigator. We're told it's doing okay. Beautiful dog. Why would you throw a dog out? Why would you do that? The guy was initially charged with felony evading, but now we're told prosecutors are going to tackle animal cruelty charges as they should. As a result, the SPCA said the dog remained in protected custody until further notice. So the dog survivor appeared to have avoided life-threatening injuries, although it's a good bet the pup is shaken up. Absolutely. Yeah, this is just... I'm not even gonna read y'all that story. No. First of all, why? Just y'all see the damn story. That's just disgusting. See, this is what I mean by people being stupid on YouTube. Like, that's what you have to do in order to get views. Stop. Okay, here's the story. Ryan Shaner files for divorce from wife. Beautiful wife there, by the way. My Lord. Let's see here. Ryan Schaefer is officially calling things off with Michelle Schaefer filing for divorce. His longtime partner, less than 2 months after she publicly accused him of cheating. According to, let's see here. How old is the wife? Let's see here. Let's see. 31. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Let me go back. What's the age here? Oh, she's 29 years old. Wait, what? 29? Good damn. Really? Oh, she's 31. 31? Lord Jesus. Okay. According to court records obtained by TMZ Sports, the former NFL star filed documents on Wednesday. No further details surrounding the matter were revealed, however, as the court has ordered the case to be sealed because they have children. An attorney for Ryan declined to comment when reached out on Thursday. As previously reported, Michelle scorched the earth on Ryan back in late November, claiming that he sent raunchy texts to another woman. The text messages here. A person that loves his family, this is what they do to the family. The wife that's been there for him since day one. Infidelity at its finest. I can't sit there and keep hiding this anymore. You can have at it or better. This is Ryan. He's a liar and a cheater. Well then, okay. I'm looking here. I don't think she has her Instagram. So I think she's off of social media now, but here are some of the text messages here. Let's see. Do you have a time limited text to haha, it's Ryan, haha, not exactly, only when I'm late lowering away. This is much better. Got you locked in. Yeah, I'm trying to limit myself on here. So you got a lawyer, a beat writer, world traveler. How do you have the time? That's good though. It's not that healthy. I'm just connected to the world. I love it. I love it for being people, keep up with friends, but that's not what I'm really all about, if it makes sense. So all the Columbus, Ohio. Oh, wow. I live in Pittsburgh, but I'm actually in your neck of the woods today and tomorrow. And then there's more text messages. And this is the young lady here, I think, that he was talking to. You know what? I cannot. What the actual hell? Like, did y'all see what I just saw? Y'all saw what I saw. Okay. Wow. All righty then. Yeah, you a cheater, bruh. You are a cheater, okay? Okay. Michelle and I have been living apart, currently separated. As we work through what comes next for our family, I ask for privacy and prayers. Michelle and Ryan, who raised 2 boys together, met well before he suffered his catastrophic spine injury in 2017. They are married in 2019. Wow. Okay. Let me see if anything else here. That was crazy. Y'all see those? Y'all saw those books? That was crazy. Oh my God. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything else here. Man. Okay. I think that's about it, actually. I'm not going to read that Kel story. Y'all know that she's been on a farm for a long time. So, hey, Deborah Jackson, welcome in. Glad to have you here. We're just chilling out on the highways and byways of the possibilities of what could be for about 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 32 seconds now. Yeah, a lot going on in the world, y'all. And by the way, tomorrow, 2 big shows for you tomorrow, by the way, everybody. At 3:05 p.m. Will be the first Ray to Love review show with Talk with Salada, Quentin T with GG9, my main man Q, of course, myself. So that should be very exciting. Then, of course, at 9/8 Central, immediately after Love and Marriage Huntsville Part 2, which right now nobody gives a damn about Part 2 because we want to hear from Carlos King about this arrest that happened with Martell. But either way, there will be a Part 2 tomorrow night at 8/7 Central. Then, of course, join myself and the Queen T with GG9 as we break down Part 2. Yes, indeed. And of course, Monday will be Married to Medicine and Real Housewives of Potomac. Last time I asked y'all, did y'all want to cover Potomac, Married to Medicine Hot Topics? And when we did cover Married to Medicine Hot Topics, it really was a good show. And we covered the Jonathan Majors interview on ABC News Live with Lindsay Davis. So that was a good time there. So yeah, I think that's our show, y'all. That really was that was a crazy story. Crazy. So anyway, let me get y'all the greatday.com link up. Okay, I just want to make sure that this is not the same one. Let me make sure here. Present right here. Living with Richness. Inch by Inch is a Cinch. Robert H. Schofer. It's time for the Daily Motivator by Ralph Morrison for Friday, January 12th, 2024. Live with Richness. Today comes to you with multiple opportunities for richness. To see those opportunities, look around for open heart, open mind. There are few people in your life whom you see all the time but barely even met. Get to know a few of them better. You're likely to find yourself with some interesting and enriching new friends. There are places you might hurry right on past every day without even noticing. Make it a point to stop and explore some of them and find treasures you never even knew existed. Ask yourself what things interest you that you never fully explored. Make the effort to discover, fulfill your passions, and give yourself the opportunity to add new dimensions to life. Living richly has very little to do with how much money you have. It has everything to do with how deeply and sincerely you appreciate the unique potential that is your life. You never have to let little things get you down. And when you have so many real and meaningful things to lift you up, make the choice today and every day to live richness because you can, Ralph Morrison. I really like that. Live with richness. My Lord, my Lord, my Lord. One thing to know and two things for sure. I have definitely been counting my blessings more and more recently. I may not be where I want to be, but thank God I am where I'm at. And I really mean that. A lot of times we are really selfish with wanting the world, but not appreciating where we are. So that's one. Number two, living with richness. The more things you have, the less time you have to appreciate them. Because for example, think about a woman's shoe closet or think about a man's sneaker collection. Hey, G baby, welcome in. Think about a woman's shoe closet. Think about a man's sneaker collection. The more sneakers you have, the less time you got to appreciate them. Because if you got 500 pairs of shoes, are you going to really remember every pair of shoes that you have ever had and where you wore them and how you wore them and all that type of stuff? Like, really. And finally, truly, living with richness. I think richness, just like investing in people, is all on a spectrum. I think a lot of people think, in order to invest in somebody, it's got to be money. No, that's not necessarily true. I keep telling y'all about social capital and the power of Damon John's book, The Power of Broke, right? And I often tell y'all that social capital is the key to financial capital. So if you don't have it to give, that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. People need to recognize that how we invest in people can be fulfilling and enriching. You know what I mean? Sometimes having a conversation can do a lot. Being able to give a hug, being able to call, being able to text, just being able to know that you're not alone in the world really is quite a powerful thing. So but yes indeed. So good night, Jesus. Sorry. Man, it's a lot going on with these lawsuits, y'all. I mean, now we got Angela Rye, talking about New Year tinsel from Chris Cuomo. Oh, there was another thing I wanted to talk to y'all about. I almost forgot this damn story. Ooh, 3 people in the building. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Glad to have all you here. Let me find it. Here it is. Listen, I just report the news. Jonathan Majors has been dropped from the Dennis Rodman movie 48 Hours in Vegas. Lionsgate is no longer on the project, which the filmmakers will now shop to other buyers. Jonathan Majors has been let go from the Dennis Rodman feature 48 Hours in Vegas. Our reporter has learned Lionsgate is no longer developing the film that hails from Lord Miller. The project will now be shopped to other potential buyers. Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, and and Talia Sod are on board as producers. CNN first reported the news. The news comes ahead of a February 6th sentencing. Oh my God, February 6th will be here before you know it, like that. For Majors on assault and harassment convictions stemming from an incident involving ex-partner Grace Jabari in March. By the way, on February 6th, I will be covering whatever the sentencing is for Jonathan Majors. Hours after Majors was found guilty in December, Disney dropped the actor as Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Majors plays the villain's part of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania and the Disney Plus series Loki, with the role previously set to be pivotal in future Marvel movies. THR, the Hollywood Reporter, reported earlier this week that the Majors movie Magazine Dreams, which was the Tulsa Sundance Film Festival, is unlikely to get released from Searchlight. 48 Hours in Vegas features a script from Jordan Vadina that focuses on the Chicago Bulls forward Rodman taking a mind-clearing trip to Vegas during the 1998 NBA Finals. The gateway for Rodman, who joined the NBA Hall of Fame in 2011, was known for his outlandish behavior and attire, was featured in the Michael Jordan-centric ESPN docuseries Last Dance that aired in 2020. On the red carpet for last year's Oscar ceremony, Major spoke to Entertainment about 48 Hours in Vegas. The actor said he was doing a lot of studying for the role and hoped to sit down with Rodman ahead of filming. During an interview that aired on Good Morning America this week, Major said that he was absolutely shocked at the verdict, which carries a sentence for up to a year in jail. When asked about Jabari's injuries caused, Jabari's injuries caused, Major's replied, "God, I wish I knew." I wonder who's going to sit down with Megan Good next. I wonder who will sit down with Megan Good, because that's the interview I'm waiting for. I know Jonathan Majors has been speaking, but I want to know what Megan the Good has to say about all this. Does she, really stand by her guy, or is she, kind of battling with her thoughts and emotions? Like, I really would love to know what she is thinking. You know what I mean? So we will definitely see. We will definitely see. Let me see something here. What type of Megan Good? Megan Good.
According to Wikipedia, Megan Monique Good is an American actress and model.
So the only thing I'm seeing, Bernice King said that her mom was not a prop. And amen, your mom was not a prop. She was a real ride or die. And that's completely disrespectful to use, Cora Scott King's name in vain like that. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, I'm not seeing any word from I'm not seeing anything from Megan Good yet of any interviews. So yeah. So yeah, we definitely will keep you updated with that for sure. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you guys may need to know about. I don't think there is at this point. We're just kind of chilling out right now. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Glad to have all you here in the building with me. We are just a chilling. That's what we're doing. We are a chilling. Sorry, y'all. So, but yes, indeed, though, I think that is our show, y'all. Thank y'all so much for keeping coming through this channel. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow, 3:05 p.m. for the Ray Love panel, of course, with Queen T with GG9, talk with Slime, my main man Q, and of course myself, and then of course 9/8 Central, part 2 of my Lord Jesus, a lot's been going on for real, y'all. You know what? I was thinking of Married to Medicine, Dr. Simone, talking about Carlos King, but anyway. But yeah, I'll be back at 9/8 Central with Love and Marriage Huntsville. The legendary after show, Gigi and I will be joining me as we break down part 2. We broke down part 1 together. It was fire, and it will be part 2, and then part 3. And then we got the podcast tape on the 21st. Melody Shree and Carlos King. So anyway. So with that being said, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more special, because you are always more blessed and trust. You may not be where you want to be. By the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen. Do wise one thing you call yourself. It's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I spend time with you. You spend time with me. I hope I spend time together. We're also to be great together. And I always remember we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life. Or, you're just recognizing that the beginning, middle, end of the day, that if you have to have 18 drinks a day and 30 drinks a week, then maybe you might need to sit the hell down somewhere. And also, too, if you are an employee at a mall and you have to do the utmost to be disrespectful to children, you deserve not to live. There's a lot of things I can say, a lot of things, but either way, make sure the replay is not just for you to watch it, not just for you to listen to it, but for you want to experience it again. I love you, I value, I embrace you all, wherever obstacles you've overcome, wherever successes you have achieved. On this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you, but no one else is proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. You hear me? In order to receive love, you gotta give it. In order to receive love, you gotta give it. In order to receive love, you have to give it. And finally, y'all, can we make the third week of the year a little lighter, please? I know it's not going to happen, but can we have at least half of a light week? Like maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday it's light, but then Thursday, Friday we can wrap it up. Can we have some balance out here? Just a thought. Enjoy the fireworks for the day that was, for the day that's to come, and for the blessings that are on the way for you, me, and everybody that is to come. So enjoy the fireworks. I feel the love. I send it back to you. Have a good night, everybody. Much love.